Today's Words of Wisdom, Children's Health and Sustainable Planet Jeju International Conference will be presented in Korean and English with subtitles in Arabic, Alexis or Vietnamese, Chinese, Dutch, English, French, German, Hebrew, Hindi, Hungarian, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Mongolian, Persian, Polish, Portuguese, Punjabi, Romanian, Russian, Thai, Turkish, Urdu, and Spanish.
제주도는 대한민국에서 가장 큰 섬으로 아름다운 자연경관을 갖는 축복을 받았습니다. 신선한 공기와 맑은 물, 청정한 바다, 다양한 크기의 화산은 이러한 자연경관에 아름다움을 더해줍니다. 제주의 아름다운 자연환경 중 일부는 유네스코 세계자연유산으로 등재되었습니다. 등재된 유산으로는 한라산 국립공원, 성산 일출봉, 그리고 검은오름 용암 동굴계가 있습니다.
또한 한라산은 그 아름다움과 생물종 다양성으로 2002년부터 유네스코 생물권 보전지역으로 보호되었으며 360개의 기생화산인 오름을 품고 있습니다. 제주도는 천혜의 자연유산뿐 아니라 이를 지키기 위한 노력으로도 유명합니다. 사실상 제주도민들의 가슴은 제주도와 하나가 되어 고동치고 있습니다.
귀중한 자연환경을 보존하여 미래 세대를 위한 유산으로 남기는 것은 제주도민에게 있어 가장 중요한 관심사입니다. 우리는 자연과 함께 살아가면서 우리의 아름다운 환경을 보존하기 위해서 최선을 다할 것입니다. 우리는 선조들의 지혜로운 생활 방식을 따르며 녹색 소비를 실천할 것입니다.
우리의 문화유산과 우리의 공동체적인 삶을 잘 보존해 나갈 겁니다. 우리는 지속가능한 발전을 위해 친환경적이고 생태적 활동을 지원해 나갈 겁니다. 우리는 환경보호와 세계 평화를 위해 적극적으로 참여할 겁니다.
2009년 9월 21일 제주도의 49개 시민단체가 공동으로 아이건강과 지속가능 지구촌 제주 국제 컨퍼런스를 공동 주최하여 사회적으로 가장 중요한 두 가지 주제에 대해서 논의했습니다. 바로 아이들의 건강과 기후변화입니다. 유기농 비건에 초점을 맞춘 이 특별한 행사는 행성의 온도를 낮추고 또한 어린이들의 영양을 개선하는 해결책으로 유기농 비건을 제시했습니다.
이 컨퍼런스에 참석한 정부의 중요한 인사들로는 김태환 제주특별자치도지사, 양성원 제주특별자치도 교육감 등이 있습니다. 그리고 여기 참석한 환경 전문가로는 유엔 정부간 기후변화위원회 의장인 라젠드라 파차우리 박사, 그리고 네덜란드 환경평가국의 기후와 지구촌 지속가능성 부서의 주프 오데 로휘스 부장이 있습니다.
또한 의학계를 이끄는 저명한 의사들도 전문 지식을 함께 나누었습니다. 여기엔 미국 휴메인 소사이어티 보건축산 책임자인 마이클 그레거 박사, 권위 있는 내과 의사이자 영양학 전문가인 조엘 펄먼 박사, 책임 있는 의료를 위한 의사회 창립자이자 회장인 닐 버나드 박사, 미국에서 유명한 맥두걸 프로그램의 창립자이자 의학부문 원장인 존 맥두걸 박사, 한국의 저명한 신경외과 전문의인 대구의료원 황성수 박사 등이 포함됩니다.
또한 많은 언론사들이 이 행사를 취재했습니다. MBC, KBS, CBS, 아리랑 라디오 등의 방송사와 한국일보, 한겨레신문, 연합뉴스, 제주일보 등의 신문들과 미디어 제주, 제주소리 등의 인터넷 뉴스 미디어에서도 이 행사를 보도했습니다. 이 행사의 귀빈으로 화상회의를 통한 참석을 초청받으신 칭하이 무상사께서는 너그럽게 초대를 수락하셨습니다.
이제 칭하이 무상사와의 화상회의 8부작 중 제6부 재방송에 여러분을 초대합니다. 화상회의 제목은 아이건강과 지속가능 지구촌 제주 국제 컨퍼런스로 2009년 9월 21일 대한민국 제주도에서 개최되었습니다.
And now, worldwide viewers and Supreme Master Ching Hai, we have a special surprise for you.
Huh?
The NGOs in Jeju have started something very important and meaningful.
Let's now hear the exciting news from Mr. Lee Yong-jung, Policy Chairperson of the Jeju Coalition for Children's Health. Mr. Lee, would you share the news?
예, 반갑습니다. 오늘 컨퍼런스 하면서 우리에게 좀 더 진취적인 행위를 하기를 요구하고 있음을 확인하고 있을 것입니다. 지난 4월 국회에서 식생활 교육 지원법이 통과됐고 올 11월에 발효되고 우리는 조례를 만들어야 됩니다. 그리고 지난 9월 4일 날 IPCC 권고에 따라서 주일 내 유기농 비건 채식 운동을 실천하겠다고 선언을 냈습니다. 그리고 내년 5월 달에 지방자치 선거가 있습니다. 이 세 개를 묶어서 우리는 무언가 좀 더 희망을 만들어야 됩니다. 제주도를 위해서, 그리고 전 세계 지구촌 식구들과 연대를 위해서. 그것은 우리 모두 가슴속에 가질 책무라고도 봅니다. 12월 달에 범시민사회 협약을 체결하려고 준비 중입니다. 아이 건강과 농촌 회생을 묶어서요. 거기서 최소한 주 1회 비건 채식은 우리가 관철해야 될 사항일 거고요. 내년 지방자치 선거에 지사 후보와 교육감 후보 그리고 도의원 후보들이 아이들 건강과 농촌 회생 더 나아가서 지구온난화에 대한 과제를 정책으로 내놓도록 우리가 2004년 했던 것보다 10배, 20배의 노력이 필요합니다. 2004년 노력이 친환경 학교급식 지원 조례 노력이었죠. 아마 그런 노력이 우리 모두 함께 해야 될 거라고 생각 들어집니다.
Amazing.
Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful, beautiful news. Oh, I like this kind of surprise every day. 감사합니다. Thank you, Jeju. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. It is great to see Jeju setting a shining example of becoming more vegan for the whole world to follow. And the quickest solution for climate change is for all of us to adopt a vegan diet. So the courageous NGOs here in Jeju are helping to save our planet.
Yes, history is being made here this evening by the 49 noble NGOs of Jeju.
Thank you so much. All the NGOs of Jeju. Thank you. God bless you.
Callie, would you like to introduce these 49 amazing organizations to the world?
I'll be honored to. First, educational NGOs. We have 지역사회 어머니회, 참교육 전국 학부모회 제주지부, 학교 운영위원장 협의회, 전국 공부방 제주 네트워크, 제주 생태보육협회, 제주 어린이집 연합회, 제주도 가정위탁지원센터, 제주도 교원단체 총연합회, 전국 교직원 노동조합 제주지부. And for environmental NGOs, we have 곧자와 사람들, 제주 환경운동연합, 제주 참여환경연대, 제주도 의제 21, 환경과 생명을 생각하는 교사 모임, EM 환경센터, 녹색제주연구소. And for health NGOs, we have 공공서비스 노조 의료연대 제주지부, 진환경 우리농산물 학교급식 제주연대, 제주 생활협동조합, 자연치유 시민모임, 제주도 영양사회, 누리로.com, 제주도 약사회, 한살림 제주 생활협동조합. Now, moving on to agricultural NGOs, we have 제주도 친환경 농업단체 연합회, 전국 여성농민회 총연합 제주연합회, 흑살림 제주도 연합회, 한국농업경영인 제주도 연합회, 전국 농민회 총연맹 제주도 연맹, 천주교 제주교구 우리 농촌 살리기 운동본부, 제주특별자치도 농협 친환경 장목반 협의회, 제주지역 농업발전연구소. Last but not least, the remaining organizing NGOs we have 전국 민주노동조합 총연맹 제주본부, 제주 YMCA, 제주경실련, 제주문화포럼, 제주여민회, 제주흥사단, 신지식인 연합회, 여성인권연대, 사회복지 공동모금회, 제주사회복지협의회, 제주장애인자립 생활환경연대, 제주주민자치연대, 한국장애인연맹 제주 DPI, 탐나자치연대, 제주도 장애인 총연합회, 제주대한연구 공동체. These are the NGOs who organized today's conference and have taken initiative in creating a green planet for our children.
To viewers in the audience, let's give our warmest applause for these absolutely beautiful NGOs who are helping to save the world.
Yeah. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. God bless you.
And Mr. Lee Yong-jung here on the stage has played a major role in implementing the vegan initiative.
And he has a question for Supreme Master Ching Hai. Mr. Lee, please ask your question.
Welcome.
오늘 과학자 전문가들이 모여서 다양한 토론을 했는데요. 칭하이 무상님 사님께서는 현재 지구의 상황이 어떠하다고 보시는지 궁금하고요. 기후 변화 관련 가장 최근의 소식으로 희망적인 것과 매우 심각한 게 무엇인지 알고 있으면 좀 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
안녕하세요, Mr. Lee. Thank you for what you have been doing, you and all the NGOs, for this conference, as well as all the NGOs in Jeju who has helped to save our planet. I'm very touched by your obvious dedication to children's health through your profession, and that you seek to bring them the highest level of vitality and happiness through the vegan diet. As we have mentioned already, this is the best and most effective way to heal the planet. So this work that you do on behalf of the future generations is already smiled upon by heaven and thanked by the earth. Since you ask about how I see the current situation of our planet, I have to tell you honestly that I do see it as being very, very urgent. I'm sure you will agree. I'm sure many others will agree. And I, of course, agree with the esteemed scientists who so generously gave their time to speak today about the impacts of climate change, as well as the solutions for it. As Dr. Pachauri reminded us, the effects of global warming are already being felt on a daily basis by the vulnerable throughout the world, the poor and the helpless already, the children in every corner of our planet. So it is an urgent situation indeed. In fact, some scientists are now saying that without more ambitious, courageous, and unprecedented emission stopping goals than what many nations currently have in place, our globe will soon exceed a 2-degree temperature increase, which means disaster for life on Earth. Regarding your question about updates, Mr. Lee, I would say that the most serious one is the frightening prospect of runaway global warming. The frightening aspect that nations will not do enough to stop it. This has been described by scientists as the conditions that will trigger out-of-control climate change effects, thus spiraling the world into the catastrophe of massive greenhouse gas release. This runaway warming of the climate could easily be caused by melting permafrost, which is the frozen soil extending across the vast expanse of the Arctic tundra. As the permafrost melts, it releases methane stored underground. Since 2007, scientists have seen more and more evidence of methane from permafrost melt, with recent discoveries of pure methane gas bubbling up from the bottom of Arctic lakes in both northern Canada and Russia. This situation is so alarming that 6 national laboratories in the US are now evaluating it, along with Russian scientists and the UN Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change, where Chairman Dr. Pachauri has referred to the potential for abrupt, irreversible climate change from the melting permafrost. This irreversible effect we want to avoid at all costs, Mr. Lee, especially since it may not be as far away as we would like to think. But let's end with the other update you asked about, the most hopeful one. I would say the most hopeful is that more and more people are becoming aware of the real solution, which is to be veg. You have heard some of the scientists today, such as Dr. Pachauri and Mr. Jude Lewis, also talk about the importance of doing so. The more people who eliminate meat and indeed all animal products from their life, the more we have a chance to save the planet. And not only that, to actually restore our earthly home to her original grace and beauty, and even more so, more than what we have known, more beautiful, more abundant, more peace, more gladness than what we have known up to now. And there will be more incredible inventions to come if our earth restores itself and leading a life of compassionate, merciful, and peaceful existence with all beings on this planet. So please be a part of the solution and join in first by being vegan yourself and helping to spread this message as much as quickly as possible. Be veg, go green, save the planet. And please regularly check out www.suprememastertv.com for updates on the current climate situation.
Some of the benefits of a vegetarian diet: lowers blood pressure, lowers cholesterol levels, reduces type 2 diabetes, prevents stroke conditions, reverses atherosclerosis, reduces heart disease risk 50%, reduces heart surgery risk 80%, prevents many forms of cancer. Stronger immune system, increases life expectancy up to 15 years. Higher IQ, saves 70% of a total cost of $40 trillion for reducing global warming. Uses 4.5 times less land to grow food. Conserves up to 70% clean water. Saves 80% of the cleared Amazonian rainforest from animal grazing. A solution for world hunger. Free up 3.4 billion hectares of land. Free up 760 million tons of grain every year, or half the world's grain supply. Consumes 1/3 fossil fuels of those used for meat production. Reduces pollution from untreated animal waste. Maintains cleaner air. Saves 4.5 tons of emissions per U.S. household per year. Stop 80% of global warming. Plus more. Save your life. Be veg. Go green.
You see, there's no need to ask me about my intuition or what I see inside through meditation. We can determine the knowledge about our climate problem as well as the future of our Earth by studying the fact, the data, and the evidence from the scientific standpoint. But Mr. Lee, I still have much hope, Mr. Lee. I have very positive, hopeful feeling. I still have it. I don't give up on our home yet. I feel that the world is changing. I feel that the leaders are listening. I feel that the people of the planet want to save their home. I feel that they love their children. I feel that they will do something to save the children. I'm working with you and everyone else who cares about the planet to bring this hope into realization. I don't have children per se, but I love all the children. And my positive feeling doesn't leave me yet. Although I see the change, it's too slow for my liking, but I still have very great hope. Mr. Lee, please pray with me, pray with us, so that the whole planet people wake up in time to save everybody. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm quite emotional.
Thank you, Supreme Master Ching Hai, for this very touching response.
Yes, and we also share your compassion. Our next question is for Dr. Gregor, and this question is from Reverend Kim Sang-gun, the president of Jeju Consumers Cooperation and director of Jeju Alternative Institute Community.
It will be answered by Dr. Michael Gregor.
Reverend, please share your question.
현재 제주 독감이 전 세계적으로 큰 문제가 되고 있는데 앞으로 돼지 독감 외에도 새로운 질병이 생겨날 수 있다고 생각합니다. 그렇다면 우리 자신을 지키기 위해선 면역 체계를 강화시키는 길밖에는 없다고 생각하는데요. 특히 우리 어린이들은 어른들보다 면역력이 약하기 때문에 더욱 보호가 절실합니다. 어린이들의 면역 체계를 강화시키는 최선의 방법이 무엇인지, 그리고 가족과 시민단체, 그리고 정부에 대한 조언도 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you for the timely question, Reverend Kim. Dr. Gregor has specially answered it. Let's watch it now.
Well, to prevent future pandemics, we must end the industrial production of animals for food, or even better, as a recent editorial in the official journal of the largest organization of public health professionals on the planet advised, cease eating animals altogether. And in terms of protecting ourselves during the current pandemic, we've known for 20 years that the immune function of those eating vegetarian is actually superior to those eating meat. First published in 1989, research at the German Cancer Research Center found that although vegetarians had the same number of these immune system white blood cells compared to meat eaters, the white blood cells of vegetarians were twice as effective in destroying target cells, either cancer cells or virus-infected cells. So eating a plant-based diet, a vegan diet, may protect us not only for the future pandemics, but the current pandemic as well.
Thank you, Dr. Gregor. It was a very informative and inspiring response. Our next question is for Dr. Hwang Sung-soo, and the question is from Ms. Ji Kum-suk, Vice Chairperson of Jeju Kindergarten Association.
반갑습니다. 최근 농약에 오염된 식품이나 환경호르몬, 또 식품 첨가물 등에 의해서 아이들의 건강이 많이 위협받고 있고 또 ADHD, 즉 주의력 결핍 과잉 행동 장애와 같은 아동들이 급속히 늘어나고 있습니다. 이러한 식습관으로 인한 이런 문제들에 대해서 이것을 방지할 수 있는 방법이라든지 또 자연치유 방법 이런 것들이 있으면 좀 소개해 주시기 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
네, 아이들을 둔 부모님 같으면 당연히 걱정이 되는 그런 문제라고 생각이 됩니다. 우리 사람 몸은 적응력이 있다는 특징이 있습니다. 그래서 아무리 나쁜 어떤 이 원인에 대해서도 반복이 될 때는 처음에 불편을 느끼다가도 나중에는 별 대수롭지 않게 느껴지는 느낌이 없어지는 그런 상태로 되어버리는 몸의 특성이 있습니다. 이 특성은 나쁜 것에 잘 적응을 한다는 아주 불리한 그런 점으로 생각이 됩니다만은 또 좋은 습관에 길들여지는 또 좋은 측면이 있다고도 이제 보여집니다. 우리 사람의 습관은 제2의 천성이라고 부르기도 하는데요. 그럴 정도로 습관을 고치기는 매우 힘들다는 그런 의미로 제가 이해가 됩니다. 이제 말씀하신 그 MSG든지 또 환경 호르몬이든지 여러 가지 그 식품 첨가물들이 아이들의 그 행동, 사고 등을 많이 이제 변화시킨다 하는 것은 우리가 뭐 익히 잘 알고 있는데요. 그런 것들을 방지하는 방법이라는 뭐 묘안이야 어디에 있겠습니까? 그것을 접하지 않고 섭취하지 않는 그런 방법뿐이라고 생각이 됩니다. 그러기 위해서는 아이들 대상으로 꾸준하게 그 해로움을 이해를 시키고 또 좀 규제를 하고 또 그러기 위해서는 아이들뿐만 아니라 이 부모들이 그것이 얼마나 해롭다 하는 것을 알도록 부모를 대상으로 하는 꾸준하게 이제 교육을 시키고 그뿐만 아니라 그런 것들을 만들어내는 생산 과정을 근원적으로 차단할 수 있는 그런 어떤 법이든지 아니면은 이 압력을 넣어서 이 아이들이 그런 것들이 들어있는 식품들을 접하지 않도록 아니면 접할 수 있는 기회를 줄이도록 하는 그런 이제 노력도 병행해야 되지 않겠는가 하는 그런 생각을 가집니다. 그런 것들이 이 자라나는 세대들이 앞으로 건강을 유지하는데 아주 기초부터 무너뜨리는 아주 심각한 문제라는 데는 뭐 누구나 다 동의를 하실 겁니다. 그러나 이게 이 생각보다는 훨씬 더 많은 문제를 일으킨다 하는 것들을 좀 더 심각하게 생각했으면 좋겠는데 지금 그렇지 못한 게 현실이고 해서 좀 많이 딱하고 그렇습니다. 뭐 방법은 이 모두가 거기에 대한 어떤 각성을 해서 가정에서 또는 학교에서 또는 사회적으로 힘을 합쳐서 그런 것들을 방지해 나가는 뭐 그런 방법 위에 별로 있겠는가 하는 그런 생각을 가져봅니다.
Thank you, Dr. Hwang Sung-soo, for providing your expertise, and also to Ms. Ji Geum-suk for raising a concern shared by many parents.
And our next question is for Supreme Master Ching Hai.
And it comes from Mr. Choi Yong-chul, the award-winning journalist of Jeju Sori. Mr. Choi?
최근 한국에서는 메가 스네메를 다룬 그 해운다라는 영화가 큰 선풍적인 인기를 끌었었습니다. 지구 온난화에 대한 그 자연의 재앙을 경고한 영화인데요. 그 영화 밖 현실 세계에서도 지금 매우 심각한 기후변화의 재난을 앞두고 우리 시민사회라든지 정부가 경각심을 가지고 그 적극 대처해야 될 때라고 생각을 합니다. 당장 우리가 일상생활에서 실천할 수 있는 지구온난화 대응 방법을 한 우선순위로 한 5가지만 먼저 꼽아주시고요. 그리고 언론의 역할이랄까요? 미디어의 역할에 대해서 조언 좀 해주시죠.
반갑습니다. Thank you for your question. Thank you for coming to this beautiful event. Congratulations on your media award, which you truly deserve. He has many, many awards. He's an awarded journalist. He's a very famous journalist. So I congratulate him. Nice to hear of your commitment as a media member in the matter of global warming, which is indeed very important. You have a unique opportunity to be able to make a positive difference in people's lives as a journalist. As you have asked, I can surely list the top 5 priorities in facing climate change, beginning with the most important. They are, number 1, be veg and preserve all life. including the environment. This means a lifestyle free of animal products, eliminating meat and dairy, and consuming only plant-based food is the biggest and most significant change anyone can make to address global warming. And it works, it really works, especially now that the scientists are saying that the methane and other gases from livestock raising are responsible for more than 50% of all global warming. So if we want to stop the most contributor of all global warming, then we have to stop meat production. It's very simple and logical and scientific. Besides that, we also know from science that methane traps something like 72 times more heat than CO2 in the atmosphere. But the good news is that methane is shorter-lived, so if we stop producing it, this gas will disappear quickly from the atmosphere, unlike carbon dioxide, which can last for thousands of years. Besides, stopping 50%, even more than that, this is just a very conservative estimate. There are many more other crucial benefits. It solves our water scarcity problem, our world hunger crisis, and land degradation and pollution problem. If you compare to a vegan diet, a meat diet uses up to 17 times as much land, 14 times as much water, and 10 times as much energy. Imagine? We produce enough cereals to feed the entire human population over abundantly, yet 1 billion people are hungry. And 10.9 million young children die every year. That's one child dying every 5 seconds. While we have abundance of food to feed all the world population and more, 2 times over even. On the other hand, about 1 billion people suffer obesity and related diseases from eating too much or too much meat. Korea has to import pig feet costing hundreds of billions of won. That is hundreds of millions of US dollars each year. This is not to talk about the suffering of the 10 million pigs and several millions of cows in Korea each year as well. So there are many, many practical reasons to be veg, aside from the compassionate nature that is cultivated by preserving all life. This is important too. But if people just start with the vegan diet, the care for all life will also come by the way.
Vegetarianism in religion.
The Baha'i Faith. Regarding the eating of animal flesh and abstinence therefrom, know thou of a certainty that, in the beginning of creation, God determined the food of every living being, and to eat contrary to that determination is not approved. Selections from the Baha'i writings of some aspects of health and healing.
Buddhism. All meats eaten by living beings are of their own relatives. Lankavatara Sutra. Also, after the birth of the baby, care must be exercised not to kill any animal in order to feed the mother with meaty delicacies, and not to assemble many relatives to drink liquor or to eat meat, because at the difficult time of birth, there are innumerable evil demons, monsters, and goblins who want to consume the smelly blood. By ignorantly and adversely resorting to the killing of animals for consumption, they bring down curses upon themselves, which are detrimental to both the mother and the baby. Ksitigarbha Sutra. Be careful during the days immediately after someone's death, not killing or destroying, or creating evil karma by worshipping or offering sacrifice to demons and deities, because such killing and slaughtering committed, or such worship performed, or such sacrifice offered, would not have even an iota of force to benefit the dead, but would entwine even more sinful karma into previous karma, making it even deeper and more serious. Thus, delay his rebirth to a good state. Karma means retribution. Ksitigarbha Sutra.
Gaudai. The most important thing is to stop killing. because animals also have souls and understand like humans. If we kill and eat them, then we owe them a blood debt. Teachings of the Saints.
Christianity, meats for the belly, and the belly for meats, but God shall destroy both it and them. Holy Bible.
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. Holy Bible.
Confucianism. All men have a mind which cannot bear to see the sufferings of others. The superior man, having seen the animals alive, cannot bear to see them die. Having heard their dying cries, he cannot bear to eat their flesh. Mencius. Essenes.
I am come to end the sacrifices and feasts of blood, and if ye cease not offering and eating of flesh and blood, the wrath of God shall not cease from you. Gospel of the Holy 12.
Hinduism. Since you cannot bring killed animals back to life, you are responsible for killing them. Therefore, you are going to hell. There is no way for your deliverance. Adelila.
He who desires to augment his own flesh by eating the flesh of other creatures lives in misery in whatever species he may take his birth. Mahabharata anew.
Islam. Allah will not give mercy to anyone except those who give mercy to other creatures. Hadith.
Do not allow your stomachs to become graveyards of animals. Hadith.
Jainism. A true monk should not accept such food and drink as has been specially prepared for him involving the slaughter of living beings. Sutrakatanga.
Judaism. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. Holy Bible. Blood meaning flesh.
Sikhism. Those mortals who consume marijuana, flesh, and wine, no matter what pilgrimages, fasts, and rituals they follow, they will all go to hell. Guru Granth Sahib.
Taoism. Do not go into the mountain to catch birds and nets, nor to the water to poison fishes and minnows. Do not butcher the ox that plows your field. Tract of the Quiet Way.
Tibetan Buddhism. The offering to the deities of meat obtained by killing animate beings is like offering a mother the flesh of her own child, and this is a grievous failure, the supreme path of discipleship.
Zoroastrianism. Those plants I, Ahura Mazda, or God, rain down upon the earth to bring food to the faithful and fodder to the beneficent cow. Avesta.
Everybody knows that vegetarian diet is good for health and to save the planet. They will be awakening their own great, compassionate, loving self-nature, and then their level of consciousness will rise up automatically, and they will understand more than they ever did, and they'll be closer to heaven than what they are right now. Number 2, be green. These are actions to protect the environment, such as planting trees, developing sustainable energy, and driving hybrid cars, etc. Of course, this includes the green diet, the vegan diet. Number 3, be frugal, meaning don't use more than what we need, and appreciate what we have. The resources nature has given to us are precious and limited. We can't abuse it, because only when we spend wisely will they last. Number 4, do good deeds. This means be considerate, thinking about and doing things for others which make them happy, and being kind to both humans and animals co-inhabitants. Number 5, pray. Pray fervently. This is also very important. Pray to heaven, to all the Buddhas, to God, to all the angels who are helping to awaken us. Pray to all the animals that we have harmed and tortured, directly or indirectly, by consuming meat. Pray for their forgiveness. Pray for heaven protection and forgiveness as well. Pray all the gods to help awaken us on time to save our home. We have to pray sincerely and act swiftly. We truly cannot do this by ourselves alone. We must repent for all the harm done to the earth and her inhabitants, and ask again and again for forgiveness. And we have to reverse our action. And the best way to repent is to make an effort to change. Turn around, do what is good. Refrain from all what is bad. Mr. Joa, these things are so easy to do. Truly, they are easy. Even children can do it. And they are sure to make a difference. I have mentioned many times in the past how impressed I am with the Korean people's strength and sincerity. If all the brave-hearted Korean people join in and just follow number one, be veg, your country would be transformed in no time. All the anxiety about global warming would fade because you would be assured of protection and would also be free of the dangerous hormones that are transmitted through meat eating for yourself and for your tender, fragile children. These potent hormones, like adrenaline, is present in the flesh of all the animals because, like us, they panic upon knowing they will die. When adults or children ingest it, they feel restless, anxious, afraid. To eliminate this element from Korean life would immediately have a calming effect, I guarantee you.
Some of the diseases related to meat consumption and/or production: swine flu, Ebola reston virus. Cured meats and fish increase leukemia risk in children. Antibiotic-resistant superbug infections from a strain of Staphylococcus aureus. Blue tongue disease, E. coli, Salmonella, bird flu, mad cow disease or Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, 90% of the population at risk. Pig's disease or PMWS, listeriosis, shellfish poisoning, preeclampsia, Campylobacter, Clostridium difficile, diseases hidden in healthy appearing livestock. Some of the costs of meat eating. Infertility. Eating just one serving of meat per day increases the risk of women's infertility by 32%, with additional meat consumption increasing the risk. Heart disease. Over 17 million lives lost globally each year. Cost of cardiovascular disease is at least $1 trillion a year. Cancer. Colon rectal cancer. Over 1 million new colon cancer patients diagnosed each year, more than 600,000 colon cancer-related mortalities annually. In the United States alone, colon cancer treatment costs about $6.5 billion. Millions of people are newly diagnosed with other meat-related cancers every year. Diabetes. 246 million people are affected worldwide. An estimated $174 billion spent each year on treatment in just the United States. Obesity. Worldwide, 1.6 billion adults are overweight, with 400 million more who are obese. Costs $93 billion each year for medical expenses in the United States alone. At least 2.6 million people die annually from problems related to being overweight or obese. Environmental. Use up to 70% of clean water. Pollute most of the water bodies. Deforest the lungs of the earth. Uses up to 43% of the world's cereal. Uses up to 85% of the world's soy. Cause world hunger and wars. 80% cause of global warming. Plus more.
Some of the costs of milk consumption. Bacterial microbes, pesticides and enzymes found in cheese derived from the inner stomach linings of other animals. Up to 80% of the calories in cheese are from pure fat. Breast, prostate and testicular cancer from hormones present in milk. Listeria and Crohn's disease. Hormones and saturated fat leads to osteoporosis, obesity, diabetes and heart disease. Linked to higher incidences of multiple sclerosis. Classified as a major allergen. Lactose intolerance. plus more.
For more urgent information, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/killers.
So, Mr. Jua, please tell as many people as you can through your profession and otherwise to be veg, to do good and be good and save our planet. Be the fine example for the world. This is exactly the role the media should have, like that of the true, honest friend to human society, warning everyone of any harmful situation, bringing new connections and data to light, like the urgent link between meat and global warming, giving chances for people to choose a better way of life, and being a brave voice, a heroic voice, especially for the voiceless, including animals who suffer so much, because we are all related and affected. The world needs the media's noble service and leadership. So please, again, once more, I ask you and all the courageous journalists to do what you do best. Tell the truth about how we are to save the planet. 감사합니다. Thank you. God bless you. And by the way, if you ever need any more up-to-date info and you're too busy to get into the internet, please check out our website, www.suprememastertv.com/SOS for the latest facts and figures. God bless you.
Thank you, Supreme Master Ching Hai, for those 5 priorities of be veg, go green, be frugal, do good deeds, and pray.
And it's strongly advised to put those 5 priorities into action at once.
생각밖에 아까 칭하이 무상사 그분의 이야기와 들어주시는 분들의 그걸 해서 역시 진심은 통하는 세상이다. 그러니까 마음이 통하는 모임에는 뭔가 그 뜨뜻함이 오고 가는 그런 걸 느꼈어요.
저는 칭하이 무상사님과는 2년 전에 아마 국제회의에서 만날 기회가 있었습니다. 근데 그때도 그랬지만 우리 무상사님의 그 아이들을 생각하는 그 순수한 마음, 또 지구를 미래를 걱정하는 그런 마음에 항상 깊은 감사와 존경의 마음을 갖고 있습니다.
이번 컨퍼런스를 시작으로 해서 아이건강연대가 앞으로 해야 할 일들이 많을 거라고 생각이 되는데요. 앞으로의 활동 방향은 어떻게 생각하고 계신지 궁금합니다.
친환경 급식, 나아가서 채식 운동과 더불어 생명평화 운동으로 어린이들이 지금 시달리고 있는 아토피, 또는 ADHD, 또는 컴퓨터 게임 중독, 또 비만 문제 등 다양한 문제들에 대해서 내년도 교육자치 선거라든가 이런 문제 노력을 해볼 생각입니다.
지혜의 말씀을 시청해 주신 환경을 사랑하는 시청자 여러분께 감사드립니다. 내일 계속될 아이건강과 지속가능 지구촌 제주 국제 컨퍼런스 7부도 많은 시청 바랍니다. 곧이어 주목할 뉴스들이 음악과 시가 방영됩니다. 계속해서 수프림 마스터 텔레비전을 시청해 주시기 바랍니다. 신께서 우리 지구에 평화와 우정, 화합의 축복을 내려주시길 기원합니다.
Thank you for your eco-friendly presence for today's episode of Words of Wisdom. Please join us again tomorrow for Part 7 of Children's Health and Sustainable Planet Jeju International Conference. Music and poetry is coming up next, right after noteworthy news. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. May God bless our planet with peace, friendship, and harmony.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/WOW.